Roll call. She's got official. Roll call.
Jim Mylan,
Yes.
Glenn Redding,
Here.
Roy Martin,
Here.
Brian Snavely, Fred Wool,
Here.
Bobby Woods,
Here.
Rodney Sullins,
Here.
Jim Hart,
Here.
Ralph Quinn,
Present.
James Widener,
Here.
David Thompson.
Here.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the November 12th, 2019 minutes and December 10th, 2019 agenda?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Treasury report, Sandy, please.
Beginning balance for county general was $1,453,461.52. Revenues for the month, $741,982.47. Disbursements for the month, $436,865.34, resulting in a balance for county general of $1,758,578.65. Beginning balance for county road, $2,395,840.60. Revenues for the month, $279,868.68. Disbursements for the month, $168,719.10, resulting in a balance for county road of $2,506,990.18. 1/4 cent sales tax revenue, $132,001.01. 1% county sales tax revenue, $300,537.20. General revenue turnback, $14,758.96. Highway revenue turnback, $97,381.92. 0.5% state highway tax, $53,628.36.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any committee reports?
Finance committee met and went over the budget, and we will be presenting it tonight for approval from the board.
Road committee met, and we talked about the new graders that are coming, and we are buying them this year instead of leasing them. We also discussed the stoplight, which will, I won't say any more about that, it's frustrating. And we have about got our security measures done as far as cameras in the courthouse. That'll be done by the end of the month. And we also now have a security officer, deputy that's working in the courthouse. It's in the second week. And everything looks good.
Okay.
Personnel committee met and discussed some possibilities for longevity pay and a few other things, but everything will hold for the time being.
Thank you, yes, Woods. Is that it? Okay. Under new business, we have Lonnie Anderson who would like to address Quorum Court regarding our veterans.
Judge Hathaway and ladies and gentlemen of Quorum Court, thank you very much for putting me on your agenda tonight. I sincerely appreciate it. Before I get into the specific reasons why I'm here, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind everybody here that come March is our Jack Williams Awards banquet honoring our first responders. I think just about everybody here was very gracious in the last 2 years in putting a little business card ad in our program, and we sincerely appreciate it, and we sincerely hope that you'll be able to do that for us this year. The reason I'm here tonight is I'm not here with my hand out. I'm not here asking anything of the county. I'm here more than anything here to inform. The 3 primary veterans organizations here in town, the Disabled American Veterans, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and the American Legion are forming a coalition. And we're doing this for the primary reason that we know there's more we can get done as a coalition than what we can do as separate entities and separate organizations. And one of our primary goals is a dream that many of us have had here in this community for many years, and that is to open a Veterans Center. Now, the Veterans Center whole concept is to be a one-stop shop for veterans. I'm going to let Matt, the post commander for the DAV, address that in more detail. But it's a concept and it's a dream that we've had for a long time. We think there would be a great benefit to veterans and a great benefit to the county in having a Veterans Center. We are very fortunate in that we've already had two very generous citizens of Boone County that have stepped forward and have made offers to us to provide us with facilities for this. And we thought that was going to be one of our major stumbling blocks, and one of our major hurdles was to try to find suitable facility that was going to essentially be donated to us, because we certainly didn't have the money to go out and buy it or to pay the high rents that might go along with a 3,000 square foot. But we've had two citizens step forward with very gracious offers to us, and we're very, very thankful for that. So I don't think having a facility is going to be a major issue for us. So why am I here again? To inform, let you know what it is we want to do, what our goals are, what our dream is, and then those of you who are here, each of you on the Quorum Court, you have contacts. You know people in the community. And as individuals, you may be able to direct us towards resources. You may be able to step forward and offer advice and counsel that would be so very, very helpful. You may be able to get some advice, counsel, and guidance from the Quorum Court itself. So I'm really not sure what, if anything, that the Quorum Court or county government can do towards a Veterans Center. Again, I'm not here asking for anything, just strictly to inform. So to go a little bit more detail as to why a Veterans Center and exactly what our plans are, I'll turn this over to Matt Russell, who is the post commander for the Disabled American Veterans. We have a handout here for you, which just kind of gives a brief outline as to what this is about. So, Matt.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you, Judge, members of the council, for your time. There's over 9,000 veterans in our community. 40% of those live in Boone County. And I'm sad to report to you this evening that far too many of these veterans are struggling and aren't doing that well. And too often, it's completely unnecessary. 2/3 of our veterans aren't aware that there's health care and other benefits from the Veterans Administration. When veterans do attempt to get help, they're often overwhelmed by the perplexing and long process to receive the benefits they've earned. Once they're accepted into the VA system, far too many veterans fall through the wide regulatory cracks inherent with any large governmental bureaucracy. The VA's made great strides in the past few years, and I'm a huge fan of the VA, but they're still lacking and they're still trying to improve. One of the major problems of all generations of veterans are struggling with is mental health. Far too often, PTSD, depression, and suicidal thoughts go undiagnosed and untreated. The veteran often tries to self-medicate with drugs and booze and to dull the memories, which can lead to confrontations with the police and too often prison sentences. Since 2004, over 79,000 of our American veterans have committed suicide. That's a rate 15 times greater than the civilian population, and it's even higher rate among combat veterans. Another problem we're running into is many of our local older veterans are housebound for lack of a wheelchair and a handicap ramp. Some have been injured and broken bones because their homes don't have handicap facilities, resulting in falls. Many are unable to take care of themselves. Many live alone, and they don't have the knowledge or resources to get help. For the past several months, the commanders of the VFW, American Legion, and DAV have been discussing how best to address these problems. Fortunately, our community is blessed with a number of caring people, government organizations, charities, churches, and businesses and community leaders with great resources who really want to help the veterans, yet lack the coordination and communication necessary to make that happen. And the end result is the veteran is far too underserved. Now, Lonnie and Mike, Mike Alsobrook, the commander of the VFW, and I, for the last year have been looking at this, and we've been down in the trenches, sometimes literally, trying to help these veterans and find out what they need. And there really are tremendous resources here. But the veteran doesn't know where to go, and even I, who have had experience with this now, get very lost in trying to coordinate everything to get the veteran the help they need. So that's why we're looking for a veteran center, a singular place where their families can come and receive information, assistance, and support from a broad spectrum of knowledgeable organizations and people. Housed in this center will be trained service officers to assist them in filing for the benefits that they've earned. And one possibility, and we've already talked to Boone County Service Officer about this, Red Mills, and is to have his office moved to this Veterans Center as well, because we really would like it to be a one-stop shop, and it would also give him more room. I know that he's a little crowded where he currently is. There would also be a Veterans Assistance person who can help the veteran receive immediate and financial aid. In addition, it would have a patient advocate who could help veterans solve problems they may be having with obtaining proper medical services from the VA. It's usually as simple as getting the right person on the other end of the phone. And a patient advocate knows the people to talk to. Plus, when we come across and we're representing 9,000 veterans in our little group here, I think we carry a little more weight with them. So we can get through some of that bureaucratic red tape. The Veterans Center would also house offices for various support organizations so we can quickly and efficiently communicate with each other and the veterans. There would be meeting rooms to conduct counseling, business, and provide educational classes for the veterans. It would include a workspace to store and renovate wheelchairs and medical equipment that our veterans really need and can't afford. And the DAV's been doing a lot of this last year, and there's a huge demand out for it. And fortunately, the good people of Boone County are willing to donate a lot of this stuff. And so we refurbish it, give it to them, saves them tens of thousands of dollars at times. So we're happy to do that. It would also have a food bank, and a supply of donated items like winter coats and blankets would be available. There would also be job and housing office containing information and assistance to make the veteran more self-sufficient. And again, almost all of this is volunteer people doing this. We have the people to do it, we just need to put them all together and get it coordinated. Most importantly, this Veterans Center would provide a place where veterans know they can go and have a fresh cup of coffee and talk to their brothers in arms. And I can't tell you how important this is. Being around other veterans who understand what they've been through has proven to be a great tool in combating PTSD, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Also, veterans getting involved with helping other veterans give them purpose. And this purpose is a great tool to combat what veterans call getting them out of their own heads. And that's very critical to helping veterans with PTSD. We also envision it to be a place of honor, or a place to honor our community veterans who have served by displaying their pictures and stories. We would endeavor to document not only their military service, but also their childhood memories and family histories, preserving this vital information for generations to come. The other day I had the honor of interviewing Perry Ray Hines. The stories he told, and I videotaped it for 2 hours. The stories he told were just amazing. And I'm talking about back to his great-great-grandmother and grandfather who herded pigs from just outside Marshall down to Little Rock to sell them at a market. You know, stories like that are irreplaceable, and I'm so glad we got it documented. The Veterans Center we're envisioning wouldn't cost that much to build or maintain compared to the many benefits that it will provide the community and the thousands of veterans' lives it will change for the better. It will be designed, built, and managed by veterans, and will not only improve the quality of their lives, but most likely will save some. So that's concept, that's what we're working on. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to entertain them.
Commander, you are aware that Red Mullins is paid by the county for
I
the
am.
Red Mills is down there for the Boone County Veteran Service Officer. Are you aware that he came to this Quorum Court last year and put on a part-time employee, and that this year we made that person a full-time employee, and that they too have been certified as a service officer, and now we have 2 of them working out of that office here in town? Did you know that?
Yes, I
Okay.
was aware of that, and also, we keep in very close contact with Red because we have 5 service officers that do similar things to what Red do. We can't do it as officially as he can because we don't have access to some of the computer sites that he does in the VA. But we work closely with him. When we have questions back and forth, we share information, and the vision that we have would be to let ours assist him in his endeavors, because, and also the American Legion and VFW has veterans or service officers. And the idea is he's still overwhelmed at times. And so if we can put all these, this is a perfect example of what we've been talking about, put all these resources together and we can better serve the veteran.
But I was the service officer with the American Legion the last couple of years, and when they would come to me, that's the first thing I would do is direct them to Red, and he would go ahead and work with us and get them the things filled out that they needed to get the medical stuff that they needed, or the benefits that they needed. But I understand what you're doing is going past that, and actually having a place where you go to the history of that veteran and the stories from the past experiences.
Right. Now, we, in this last year, we have helped 140 veterans file for their benefits, aside from what Red does. This is in addition to. So, but we still view your service officer as the main lead person in this endeavor, but we do what we can to assist. But there's just too much out there for any one group of person to handle. So
Is that your group that's been down at the library that's been helping?
yes, we've been down to the library every Thursday for long decades.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, we have a stack, probably a good 1.5 inches, single pages, and each page represents a service that is available in this community. And nobody knows all of these organizations. Everything from the Housing Authority to an employment office down at Goodwill. I mean, you can just go on and on and on. All these different services are available. So if we have somebody knowledgeable right here in this Veteran Center that has their finger on every one of these, then we have a good opportunity of directing that veteran to the right place where they get the right services and get the right help they need.
And again, almost all of this would be voluntary, except for Red and his staff. Everything else would pretty much be voluntary. We might need one facility manager employed at some point, but it would all be generated through donations and volunteer work. We've got a ton of good quality vets, and it's not only going to help the veterans we're serving, but it's going to be help the veterans is actually helping the veterans. That's very critical in a lot of their treatments. Any other questions at all?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
We wanted you to know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if anybody has any additional questions, on that handout we passed around is contact information. Get a hold of any one of us. We'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for giving us time. I sincerely appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay. The appropriation ordinance. Appropriation ordinance number 1, an emergency ordinance to establish budgets for the additional motor fuel tax fund Act 416 of 2019 submitted by Justice Wood.
I think I that we need to have this three times.
Still pretty appropriating money though.
Yes, we received a check.
Yes, if there's no appropriation yet, because there's no money in it yet. This is just to set up the fund. And we did receive money today for this fund. And we'll put
That
it-
probably comes out of appropriations. I looked at it and I couldn't see any appropriations, so I was thinking, it might just be regular ordinance.
It's just setting it up to where we can
Establish.
receive those.
Establish an account.
So
establish
when we said 3 times, you
No,
want
I want.
one time, okay.
Because even if someone's been screwed up, they ain't get the money back. money appropriated by. No illegal, exactly.
All right, then, I move
No harm, no foul.
we read it by its title in Article 1 and Article 4.
I have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay.
Be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to establish the additional motor fuel tax fund, Act 416 of 2019, and declare an emergency. Article 1, affirmation. It comes before this court that there is a need to establish a fund on the books of the county treasurer as a sub-fund of the county road fund, number 2000, to track the revenues and expenditures of the wholesale tax on gasoline and diesel as levied by Act 406 of 2019. This court recognizes and affirms the need for such a fund to properly account for, control, report expenditures of such in compliance with Act 416 of 2019, Section 6, and codified as 26-64-104. Article 4, emergency clause. It is found by this court that since revenues from this fund will be received in December, it is fundamentally necessary to establish the additional motor fuel tax fund, Act 416 of 2019, immediately in order to track the revenues and expenditures in accordance with the precepts of Act 416 of 2019. Therefore, an emergency is declared to exist, and this order shall be in full force and effective from the date of its passage and approval. I move that we take it in front of the whole Quorum Court to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have one other question. This could receive the money, but to move the money from this account, you have to have an appropriation ordinance in addition to this, is that correct?
Well, this is setting up the fund, and then we have also added a budget in that
Okay.
to the budget ordinance that's going
Good to go.
hopefully pass tonight.
So we pass by roll call.
No, I do roll call, I call roll call, I do it by voice.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any discussion? Okay, Chrissy?
Fred Wolf,
Yes.
Bobby Woods,
Yes.
Rodney Sullins,
Yes.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Quinn,
Yes.
James Widener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Redding,
Yes.
Roy Martin.
Yes.
Okay. Appropriation ordinance number 2. An appropriation ordinance to establish the 2020 Boone County budget, sponsored by Justice Hart.
This is the budget in its final form. And start naming people I want to thank. I'm sure I'll leave somebody out, but Justice Thompson, Justice Redding have worked an awful lot on the budget. And Tammy, Shirley, Sandy,
Lindsay.
yes, Christie, everybody, anybody else, a lot of people. Seemed like it was a laborious task this year, but it's done, and I think it's done equitably. And are there any questions about it before we? Well, to give us legal for discussion, I will make the motion that we pass appropriation ordinance number 2. We read it through section 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Now, do you have any questions about the budget? It's just a little bit of summary. It's $7.2 million. We show in there 100,000 out of reserves to make it work, but we are pretty confident that we can pay that reserve back. And by the way, that's interest. We're not taking any principal out of reserve. That's interest that we've earned by having a reserve. And we're pretty confident we can pay that back when the airport pays us back from what we loaned them last year. Hopefully our revenue will be a little better than Sandy anticipates. I'm sure she took a fairly conservative approach, as she should, and, I move for adoption.
Second.
Move to read.
Oh, that's right, we gotta read the first four. Okay, be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, the State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to establish the annual operating budget for calendar year 2020 and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas, Section 1, annual budget adopted by reference. The annual budget for calendar year 2020, identified as the 2020 annual budget of Boone County, Arkansas, dated January 1, 2020, is hereby adopted by reference and made a part hereof as though set out herein word for word. A copy of said budget shall be filed in the office of the county clerk and shall be available for inspection and copying by any person during normal office hours. Non-restricted expenditure categories. Expenditure of funds appropriated by this ordinance shall not be restricted to the line item expenditure codes comprising the four major categories of expenditures: personal services, supplies, other services, and charges and capital outlays, but shall be restricted to office departmental expenditures within the above enumerated four major categories, except for funds appropriated for personal salaries and wages and related employee benefits. Personal expenditures shall not exceed the dollar amounts, number of employees, and salary or wage rate specified in the annual budget or an amendment thereto. Expenditures restricted to specified fund. No expenditure of appropriated funds shall be made from any fund other than the fund specified in this ordinance or an amendment thereto. Transfers. Any transfers of money between the various funds of the county or between the four major categories of expenditures: personal services, supplies, other services, and charges and capital outlays shall be made only with prior approval of the Boone County Quorum Court. And now I move for adoption.
Any discussion? Okay, got a motion second. Roll.
Bobby Woods,
Yes.
Rodney Sellens,
Yes.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Quinn,
Yes.
James Whitener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Redding,
Yes.
Roy Martin,
Yes.
Fred Wolf.
Yes.
Okay. Good job, Jim.
Well, thank you on behalf of the committee.
Appropriation ordinance number 3. An appropriation ordinance for funds received from COBRA for previous employees who are continuing coverage, submitted by Justice Redding.
I'll make a motion to read it by title and through section 1.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2019 and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, section 1. The following appropriation shall be made from the county general fund number $1,061.99 to 1,000-0400-1009, Sheriff's Office Personnel Services, Health Insurance Matching, $47.40, to 1,000-0800-1009, Veteran Services, Personal Services, Health Insurance Match, $14.59. The sum $61.99 is funds that were received from COBRA for previous employees who are continuing coverage with no new funds appropriated. And I move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Kristen?
Rodney Sellens,
Yes.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Quinn,
Yes.
James Whitener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Redding,
Yes.
Roy Martin,
Yes.
Fred Wolf,
Yes.
Bobby Woods.
Yes.
appropriation ordinance number 4, an appropriation ordinance received from Energy Solutions as a rebate for installing LED lights at the health office. These funds are deposited in the general fund and need to be moved to the health unit submitted by Justice Thompson.
Move that we read this through section 1. And to the back for the reading.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
We'll skip that one.
All opposed, same sign.
We want to refund.
Something just don't like ordinance.
All right, being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year of 2019, not authorizing the county judge to administer such budget for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas. Section 1. The following appropriations shall be made from the County General Fund number 1,000, $4,275.65. And it's going to account number 1,300-2024, Health Unit Supplies and Maintenance. And as previously stated, the sum $4,275.65 is refunded from Energy Solutions to the Health Office as a rebate for installing LED lights. That'd be the light emitting diodes, I believe, right?
Right.
Move for adoption.
Any comments? Christie?
Jim Park,
Yes.
Ralph Quinn,
Yes.
James Whiter,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Rennie,
Yes.
Roy Martin,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Bobby Woods,
Yes.
Rodney Sullins.
Yes.
Okay. Any comments from the public? I'd also like to add what Justice Harp said there. You know, like he said, I'm sure we forgot to thank some people. But I'd also like to thank the elected officials from the clerk all the way to the coroner's office for turning in their budgets. And, you know, it wasn't all, we couldn't give everybody what they wanted, but I think these guys worked very diligently to give us what we could do. So, once again, I want to thank all of you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
This program is brought to you as a public service of KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.